That, huh?
Yeah, I'm going to share on my timeline, and I have a bunch of cousins that show up.
Nice. That's cool. We are live. Hello, Disney nerds. Thanks for joining. Come on in. I see we are live on the YouTube. Hopefully, we'll be live here shortly on the Book of Faces.
Sorry, I blew you up there.
Yeah, that was a little loud, but that's okay.
Sorry.
I see we are live. I see we got some people here. So say hello if you're here. Thanks for joining. Come on in. We're going to take a couple minutes to share the show while we're doing that. If you could do the same, that would be great. Tonight I have Lisa. Lisa, what's happening?
What's going on?
And Sam. Sam, what's up, my friend?
What's up, buddy? I'm glad you're back. You're feeling better.
Yeah, I'm all in. So it's good stuff.
That's good.
You
Glad
did
you're here.
a fantastic job, by the way.
Not about fantastic. I just kind of watched Ed, and that was cool.
Yeah, it was really good. You guys had a lot of good conversation. You shared some good pictures. Hello, Joy. Hello, Kim. Hello, Heather. Oh, that's awesome. Glad you got to join us, Heather. Melissa, thanks for joining. Would be at Disney if this crazy. I know it's something. That's what we're going to talk about tonight.
Yeah.
Hello, Victoria. Hello, Anthony. Bill.
I was scheduled to fly down on Friday, and it's like,
Are you really?
Yeah, I'm looking at my fast passes going poof. There they
go. What's your next? Is June?
Right now it's June. Yes.
Yeah.
Every conference that I would be attending has been canceled. So, what do you do?
Victoria, for sharing. Hangnail's great. Bill, thanks. Hey, Bradley. Thanks for sharing, Bill. Margie, hello. What's up? Ian Quay.
Ian, I know that guy.
Yeah, you know Ian.
I know a lot of these guys. What am I saying?
Yep.
They're all awesome.
Thanks for sharing, Anthony. God, I got to get Sharon.
Hey, Jimmy.
Yes.
Lisa, happy St. Patrick's Day.
Happy St. Patrick's Day. You know, this show, we're going to be talking a lot about...
I saw that, Lisa. That was good.
I'm classy. I don't know what to tell you.
This show, we're going to be talking a lot about, kind of what we're doing to kind of fill the void right now that Disney is kind of gone away. But I was listening to the local radio on the way home and on the way home from work today, and they were talking about the same thing about St. Patrick's Day, that normally on today, there would be lots of partying going on at all the Irish pubs and bars and stuff like that. But because of all the stuff...
Wait a minute. You're in New Orleans. They party there?
A little bit. Yeah. A little bit.
I didn't know. I should visit.
You should come. Sam, you may not want to leave.
I understand.
So they were talking about that it's kind of crazy because typically you would have all those Irish bars and stuff would be full of people partying for St. Patty's Day.
Absolutely.
We can't do it. Can't do it. So we're going to talk a little bit about that.
I do have a question. Anybody in Chicago, did they still dye the river green?
I forgot they do that.
Yeah, I wondered if they still did. I've been there on St. Patrick's Day in the past. It's quite the thing.
It's a great, and I missed being in Boston.
Just curious.
I actually usually went and saw their broadcasting right now is that just happened. Dropkick Murphys, and I've seen them several times on St. Patrick's Day.
Very nice. I've also been in Disney World on St. Patrick's Day before. So,
really?
I have. They pour green beer over at the beer cart right outside of Rose and Crown. And the one year that I did it, they used to do the chalk arts, where it was just a cast member that would give the chalk to kids. They had a huge shamrock and the pot of gold that led right to the Rose and Crown. The end of the rainbow was the Rose and Crown, Jimmy. How perfect is that?
That's actually pretty perfect.
Margie said that they did do the River Green there.
Good.
What's going on,
dude? Good. The parades were all canceled, but it's cool if they still did the...
Yeah, that's cool. It's cool that you get some type of normalcy.
Yeah.
So how crazy is things in the Berg?
It's crazy everywhere. I think it's the same. right? It's there's no sports. The kids are home. It's a new normal here for a couple of weeks, and yeah, what are you gonna do? It's crazy. Even just last week, we weren't thinking that this could happen. It
Well,
is what it is. So
I spoke about the St. Patty's Day void, and tonight's show's about the Disney void that we're all going to be trying to fill. But another thing, it's a sports void, which is odd.
very.
You not have any type of sports going on. But there were some announcements today from NFL. There were some signings and things that happened, back office stuff. So I'm going to ask everybody in the comments to go ahead and rep your favorite NFL team. I know Lisa's a Pats fan, maybe a Tampa Bay Bucks fan now, which would make us division.
Too soon, Jimmy. Too soon.
I'm not upset. I'm not upset about his departure. I'm not like everybody else.
Oh, no. I'm like,
coming out of New England right now are downright hysterical.
Your friend.
Edwin's.
Oh, good riddance, he said.
Oh, yeah.
I'm like, oh my God, dude.
New England is fair weather. We are very fair weather fans.
They have the worst fans there. I'm like, dude, you better like look at this and be like, thank God you did what you did for us, Tom. Like Drew Brees could now he was leaving tomorrow, and people would be like, good luck, Drew. We're so glad you did what you did for the Saints.
Yeah.
We're happy for you. No, good riddance.
I had this conversation. Sports radio there is brutal. You could have an undefeated season. You lose the Super Bowl, and they want to.
Fire you! They're firing the
coach. They want his head on a stick.
I have one question though. Who's the owner?
Steelers fan in the house. I'm with you.
Who's the owner of the? This is the NFC South. If it's true, which I think that it is, that I think it's done right. That Tom Brady's going the Bucs.
It's still rumors.
Okay, I thought
reputable sources.
Reputable sources,
right.
not Colin Cowherd reported too. So not just not some random dude just floating it out there. We got some pretty solid sources. And then you got Teddy Bridgewater, who did fantastic for the Saints this year while Drew was hurt, going to the Carolina Panthers. So, but if Brady's going to the Bucs, Drew Brees just re-signed with the Saints. You got Matt Ryan and Teddy Bridgewater. It's going to be a tough division.
Katie says, I liked Drew more than I liked Tom, which is really funny because one of the memes I saw today, Katie, was Drew Bledsoe would have never done this to us. He would have waited. Like this now is really bad, and you announce it because you've got to sign. But it's just such a bad time. Everybody's down in the dumps. There's so many things going on. And then we open up our news feeds this morning and we're like, what?
And like I was just saying, there's just a sports void. So it's all going to make big, huge impact in news, right? So my question is Tom Brady going to kiss the Tampa Bay Bucs owner on the lips?
I don't know. What's she look like?
I don't think it's a she, but I know he
runs that horrible organization. I was just double checking.
I have no idea. I know he would. I know it's been noted that he would give Bob Kraft like a kiss on the lips. They kiss on the lips. Like that was a common thing.
I don't have a single appropriate comment for this.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't at all. So we're gonna move on.
It'd be weird if I kissed Jamie. It'd be weird if I kissed Jamie Dimon on the lips.
Somebody said
that'd be weird.
There
you go, Lisa. I thought the entire time you guys were not talking about Disney, but talking about football. I found my art from St. Patrick's Day 2012. That is right in front of the Rose and Crown, St. Patrick's Day 2012. So I was definitely there, and I had a green beer, and somewhere there's a video of me getting a green beer. And by the way, then I went back to British Revolution, and I thought, oh, this is going to be cool. I'll film a Sam Sister Diary. I watched it later, and there was no way I could ever use that footage. I was in no condition to be recording it.
Had too many drinks.
Someday I might show you guys that video, but
that's not an uncommon theme when we do some of our walkarounds.
That is true.
This was 2012. That was a while ago. So
remember Lisa spinning the sombrero up in the air and it landed on her head? I still
remember that. It took us a couple of takes to get that, but I do recall.
Do you remember?
I don't know whether or not vague.
That was for our Flower and Garden Festival walk around.
That was a walkthrough.
You threw the sombrero.
I don't remember much of it, but
you spun the sombrero and threw it up in the air, and it landed on your head.
Landed on your head.
I have
an incredibly talented human being.
I have that video somewhere. It will resurface again.
Definitely,
it will resurface.
Maybe not publicly. I'm not saying it's going to resurface publicly, but it will resurface. Oh.
There are way too many videos we have that so we should not go down that. That's a rabbit hole we should not go down.
Oh, you've got a karaoke one of me.
I do. There's a couple of things. We just
is this at Epcot? No, this is Star Tunnel, right?
The music is Star Tunnel from
they could have been talking about Sam's picture. That was at Epcot.
My picture was at Epcot, absolutely. And I just found the video. Hold on, let me see here. Because it's been a long time since I've actually watched this, which makes me really nervous. But I am very quickly going through my things here. So there you go. It's on that screen there. Oh no, I need to stop sharing so that I can add video there, at least, or add audio.
Oh,
my apologies.
Does Germany in Epcot do anything for Oktoberfest? Well, all year long they do, but
yeah, it's basically Oktoberfest all year long there.
Yeah, I'll hit play if you share that. Hopefully, it's not too loud.
I don't know if they do anything specifically for October.
This is 2012. This is St. Patrick's Day. Look at that. I got my green shirt on right there. That's great. But this is that is a cart in the United Kingdom, and it's green beer. You'll see one here in just a second as they serve. But that's that. There you go. There's your green beer. Can't beat that. I'm about to get one as well. But
that's like
God damn, you look so young.
I know. That's 2012. That's not that long ago, is it?
Oh,
8 years ago.
Top of your head.
I know. There's head, and it's not gray. It's like, wow. Look, they ID'd me. That's how young I was. Did you see that? She asked to see my ID.
It's funny how as life goes on, it becomes like it goes from being a nuisance to like a compliment. Like,
there you go.
Oh, you want my ID?
Let's go inside the Rose and Crown.
Of course, right.
Oh, you look so nervous. You look so nervous in front of the camera. Was never like you. That's not you. You never.
That's not me. That's it right there. There you go. I got my green Stella.
How long were you doing videos at that point?
I want to say I started doing them. So this was 2012. Probably only 18 months, a year before that. So
yeah,
it was early on.
You could tell just you recording that. You could tell you had a little nervousness. Just a nervousness to you.
A little bit.
Which I would never see. Like now, you're like the consummate professional when you're on camera. So that surprises me actually.
There you go. I appreciate that. Thank you, Jim.
With age and with time.
Yeah,
maybe that's it.
True. A little bit of both.
I just don't care as much anymore.
Or just don't really care. Right. That's a good point.
But yeah, so I have been St. Patrick's Day in Disney World. We know Raglan Road has some really cool things. There's lots of great stuff that happens, but yeah, it's pretty cool.
Yeah, I was just at Raglan Road last weekend, last Wednesday night.
The dye in the beer's making you nauseous there, Melissa. I don't remember what it tasted like. It was good stuff.
So what are you doing to bridge the time?
Man,
I've been rocking a lot of Disney Plus.
Yeah.
That's yeah.
I think that's a big one. I've been consuming a lot more Disney stuff that comes across the Facebook. Like a lot of times I blow by that stuff because we're so involved in it that I don't have to necessarily read it. I find myself stopping to read more of the blogs, more of the articles, even our blogs on the DisneyNerdsPodcast.com. Yeah. I just find myself digging in a little more to some of those blogs and stuff like that. I did purchase, which is not necessarily just Disney, but I did purchase The Rise of Skywalker. Watch that again. Kim,
the digital copy? It's not in stores just yet, right?
Yet. They released the digital copy, which it was supposed to come out today regardless, I think. But I picked it up on like Saturday or Sunday because they released it early because of all the stuff going on.
Yeah.
Kim had forgot she saw it. We started watching. She goes, I feel like I've seen this before. I'm like, you did see this before. We went to the show. Because I went to the show twice and saw it. I saw it with Ian and Wyatt, and then we went back and me and Kim saw it. I liked it better the third time than I did the first 2 times.
Yeah.
I guess sitting at home, I got to pay a little more attention to it. Than
You're probably looking for some things you might not have been looking
Have the
for.
opportunity to pause, rewind,
Yeah.
really kind of adjust accordingly.
Yeah, absolutely.
I am up to Guardians of the Galaxy in my.
Oh, you're getting pretty deep there.
Yep. So I don't know whether or not you know this, Sam. A couple weeks ago, I started Marvel from the beginning.
So in the order that
on which they were released.
Okay, the release order versus trying to put them in.
Marvel, yep.
Okay.
That's how I would recommend watching them.
See, I thought about that, but then I saw Resistance Season 2 is on Disney Plus and Clone Wars Season 7's on Disney Plus. So I've been checking in on the Resistance there and what's going on with the Colossus and what those guys are up to.
I've been watching Resistance. I'm probably on episode 16, probably of season 1.
Got it. Cool.
And
I don't remember how many there are.
And I've been filling in. The Clone Wars season 7 is being released week to week on Friday. So I've been watching.
Yes.
I've been doing those as they come out. We just finished the 4th one, which was the Bad Batch series, and now we're going to move on to something else.
I see a bunch of people, Kim included, Frozen 2. They released that early on Disney Plus.
Yes, they did. I think Clone Wars is going to get some more Ahsoka Tano.
I would think.
I think she's part of one of I think it's going to be 12 episodes, and I think it's 4, 4, and 4. Like the first 4 was the Bad Batch, and then the next 4 is going to follow some other arc.
Got it. Yeah, that's it. They're good for those story arcs. If you go back and watch some of the older ones, there's obviously this is the 7th season, so there's a lot of Clone Wars. The story arcs tend to jump around a lot. And there's an order where you can watch it following each of the arcs.
That's cool.
But, I've been okay jumping back and forth.
I like Resistance. Resistance is not as good as the end, like when you get toward deep into Clone Wars, and certainly not as good as Rebels.
I do like Rebels.
Yeah.
I'm in Resistance season 1. I think ends up cool, and I'm in season 2 now, and I'm not far enough in to really know what's up yet. But it's interesting.
I like it. I just Rebels really drew me in. I don't get that same exact feeling with Resistance. I
understand. The animation style is different too, right?
Yeah, it's a little weird. Yeah,
it's taken me a little while to get used to it. But then going from Clone Wars to Rebels, it was a little different in animation style, and I was able to get through that. But it's all about storytelling at the end of the day.
Yeah, for sure. Heather, if you're go get a Fire Stick or a Chromecast.
Or an iPad or whatever you're watching us on, you can get Disney Plus on, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, you can get it on just the computer. If you want to watch TV, God, it's Amazon and those guys are missing a great opportunity to be selling Fire Sticks, huh? They should be.
It's on Amazon. Amazon Fire TV, definitely.
They should have those on sale. So I've been doing a lot of Disney Plus, been watching videos on the phone. Lisa, what about you? What are you doing other than driving through property, which you did a fantastic job yesterday.
That was interesting. I was waiting for you to stop and get out somewhere. That didn't happen.
I actually stopped. So where I ended the video, I don't know whether or not you watched it all the way to the end.
I did not.
I ended the video was at almost to the gate of Animal Kingdom. So if you know Sam, driving. So I was kind of just stopped right at the gate there.
When you say gate, you mean where they take.
If it were an average day and you bared right there, there's no way out. You actually have to go through the gate and then turn around.
Right.
But because there's nobody around, I literally pulled a U-turn and pulled right out.
Oh, wow. That's crazy. There's nobody around. And we did see that there's no construction happening right now either. They stopped that, which, man, that's got to just cause issues everywhere. So I was hoping originally you get 2 weeks with nobody in the park. Epcot, you can bring bulldozers in and just clear things out and start building.
Done when they reopen.
Yeah, exactly. But no construction either. And just think of how somewhere somebody took October 21st, 2021, the 50th anniversary, and started going backwards for opening things up. And wow, that's just, people have to be scrambling.
Yeah, it's certainly crazy. I was able to get a good angle on Cinderella Castle. The lights were still on. Was kind of cool to see it from that angle. There was a monorail running. The resort monorail was running.
Just the resort.
Just
Sure,
the
you got to get
resort.
those people around. Yeah.
Yeah, there were easily 100 plus buses parked in the Magic Kingdom parking lot.
Just parked in the parking lot. Sure.
Parked in the parking
Yeah.
lot.
Heather, she's talking about the gate to like where you would pay to park at Animal
Yeah, the parking, not the gate to tap your band. I mean, you could go up there and see. Keep
That would
tapping it, pressing a
I'm
button.
sure you would get. I'm sure you'd get.
You might not want to touch it.
Security. Well, I'm sure you get Disney security at some point. Heather,
Probably before you got to there.
resorts are currently open. They're going to be closing on Friday, which they wanted to give people time to make other arrangements. But as soon as they announced they were closing the parks, they stopped booking rooms. They didn't close the resorts, but you couldn't book a new room.
So with that being said, I'll probably do another drive-through on Friday, just to see how even more different it looks. It's definitely going to be crazy.
Brandon asked this, and I was going to ask you guys. So, what date do you actually think Walt Disney World will reopen? Pretty sure April 1st will not happen. I don't know.
I don't know, man.
You say May 1st?
Yeah.
I no idea. Everything's speculation.
And to me, it's just a hope.
Well, sure it is. I hope that it opens 2 weeks after it closed, right? If that's April 1st, then so be it.
I'm reading, I know a lot of medical people. My parents are in the medical field. I'm reading a lot of medical articles, and it seems as though we're seeing some positive things coming out. I don't know, we're seeing a lot of negative and a lot of crazy. And somebody had asked earlier, do we have day jobs? We do. And I work in retail. So I see,
a lot of
fun stuff. So it's in all the craziness. I do think that there'll be an uptick and then a downtick, and hopefully by May 1st, maybe the middle of May, that we'll see it try to get back to some semblance of normalcy.
I think we're going to see an uptick. I don't think it's because it's an uptick in necessarily people getting infected with the virus. I think those people are already infected. I think you're going to see an uptick because of you're getting more testing places there. So like here, there wasn't a lot of places to get tested. Now there are. So just because of that, I think you're going to see an uptick. And you actually saw that if you look at the timeline from China, that's exactly how it happened. It kind of rose, and then it had a spike. And then after that, it kind of leveled off. So I'm hoping the same thing. Melissa says she's thinking in 2 weeks into April, so halfway through April. Look, officially, it's closed through the end of March. That's the official word. So we don't want to.
That's all we have. That's all we know.
We can all speculate here, but I just want everybody to understand that the official Walt Disney World word is it's closed through the end of this month. I probably should have looked at that. I don't know if you could book a room for the first week of April. That'd be interesting. That'd be interesting to see if they're saying they're going to open in April. If you could go on the website and book a room.
I can certainly take a look. So.
All right. So you got Disney Plus. You're watching Guardians, Lisa. Jimmy, you're doing some Clone Wars. I'm doing Clone Wars. What's everybody out there watching? Is it Disney Plus? Has everybody gone through the Imagineering story? I could see watching that again.
Mandalorian. Watch the Mandalorian again.
I'm watching
Mandalorian again.
Old stuff too. Like I found Boy Meets World. Totally.
Okay. Not necessarily old stuff, but old stuff.
Well,
when you say old, I think Walt Disney Presents stuff. Yeah, Pollyanna. Yeah, that seriously. There you go. Kim's all over it. Pollyanna. Kids are home for 3 weeks. Frozen 2. Thank you, Disney. Amen.
Bill posted a video the other day. He was watching Frozen 2 and getting a live performance of Frozen 2 by his daughter, all at the same time.
Now you can't do that on a normal day, right? You need to slow down like this to make that happen, and that's something that you'll remember. I absolutely love that because in all this craziness, that's something cool that comes out of it.
I'll tell you the other thing is, I have in the past, but not since I've moved to Florida. Things have been a little crazy. I am a puzzler at heart. I like the puzzle, and I like all kinds of Disney puzzles. I have them. I've glued them. I've got them up in my kids' rooms.
Yeah.
all the Thomas Kincaid puzzles, and we're big Villainous fans. If you haven't played the Disney Villains game, it's amazing and it's fantastic, and my kids love it. And I just picked up the new 101 Dalmatians Cruella de Vil expansion pack. But Angela bought me a Villainous puzzle, so we were working on that today. And it's been a long time since I've sat down and done a puzzle and put on a little Dreamfinder radio.
It's going.
And really kind of listen to some music and let that music take me to the park.
I need to figure out how. I need to look into Villainous. My kids are grown, and I'm in South Louisiana, so I need to figure out how to turn it into a drinking game.
Easy.
It's easy. You can turn it into a drinking game.
In a heartbeat, you could.
That's awesome.
In a heartbeat, you could.
I think somebody might have already done that, Jimmy.
All right, Ian. If you're still watching, we got to go get Villainous for this weekend so we can turn it into a drinking game.
Oh man, the last thing you guys need are ideas.
Yeah, right. Sure. Good point. It's actually a very good point. Yeah, we don't. I got to call Victoria out a little bit. Victoria says, I have watched just about everything on Disney Plus that I actually like.
I know where you're going, Jimmy, and you're right.
Victoria, go find some stuff that you don't think you're going to like, and maybe you'll like them.
That's exactly right.
You don't know you're going to like it until you watch it.
Pick a decade. Put all the decades in a bucket. Put all the decades in a bucket, and every day pick out a decade and watch 3 things from that decade. It could be the 40s, it could be the 30s, it could be the 70s. Pick out.
First thing I watched when Disney Plus came out before all this madness, the Apple Dumpling Game. How fantastic of a movie is that? It's a great movie.
One of my favorites when I was a kid.
It's hilarious. The humor in that is just amazing. And I guarantee a lot of these young people like Victoria, who's a young, and I'm not picking on just Victoria, I guarantee she probably has not seen the Apple Dumpling Gang. And it is hilarious.
I can book in April. I booked April 1st to April 3rd. I can book.
And you can book a room.
Yep. So the other thing I would consider is, and I did this a couple of times when we weren't in a social distancing situation, was I went to the movies, and I went to A through Z, and I literally closed my eyes and I hit the down button, and I counted to 5 or counted to 10. And when I let go, I picked the movie that was on the screen.
There you go.
It's awesome.
Are you watching the new Mickey Mouse cartoons? Because those are good too.
They're very cute. He doesn't like the animation.
I don't like the animation.
I've gotten over it though. I have. I'm with you that up front I didn't like it, but I've sort of.
You think the content's enough to get you past the animation?
The content is funny.
Okay.
It's funny. Potato Land's the episode. I'm looking for it right now, but it's good stuff.
Victoria's 20, born in 1999. So my daughter's 20.
Robinson. Treasure Island.
Swiss Family Robinson's great. It talked about give you an appreciation. That's a good project for anybody that has not seen it. Go watch Swiss Family Robinson and make it a thing to make sure you go the next time you're in Disney. You go to the Swiss Family Robinson Treehouse.
Yep.
Because it's cool. Because
there's never a line.
And when you see the movie, you're going to understand all the stuff that you're seeing. It's going to tie it all together. Now, don't expect me to go with you.
He doesn't climb trees.
It's a lot of steps.
He does not climb trees.
Actually, I would like to go. The next time we go, Lisa, I want you to bring that up to me and say, "Hey, remember you said you wanted to go up to?" Because it's been a long time since I've been there. So
I have no problem dragging you up there. I love it.
I would like to take a walk up there because it has been a while.
The other thing, my mother was just in town, and we watched Dumbo. And funny,
live action or
no, the
cartoon? Okay,
classic. That's a 63 or 64 minute feature length.
Wow, I didn't realize it was that short. That's good.
I didn't realize it either. And when I went on and looked at some of the facts from that, the motion picture people begged for him to extend it to 70 minutes, and he refused to.
What is that? Has that been edited?
I don't know.
I don't know. That's a good.
I know there's some
yes,
in the original. There's some racial undertones with the crows or something like that.
Yeah, and I don't Remember?
Was that so? That I wonder if that scene's still in there, or they've taken that out.
It might have been gone. I might have fallen asleep.
Ah,
So it's entirely possible that it was
I appreciate your honesty.
there. I may have, not certain.
I was just curious because I haven't seen that in a long time, and I do kind of vaguely remember that part, but I remember there being some controversy about that. And I mean, look, if it does if that's a fact, you know, I understand you gotta change it.
all right. It's Mickey Mouse season 1, episode 13 is Potato Land. It's 9 minutes, and you got to watch it. It's funny.
Lisa,
Potato Land.
did you see my comment the other day when you were driving around Magic Kingdom? Sorry, folks, parked closed. Mouse up front.
Oh, yeah.
Mouse up front should have told you.
That's good.
All right, what else we got? Victoria says she walked through the treehouse when she was in Disneyland her senior year of high school. I've done it. It's just been a lot.
So Disneyland is now Tarzan's treehouse, and it's pretty good.
Oh, no kidding! I did not know that.
Yes, Disneyland. Yes, they did that not long after Tarzan came out. It's good. It's worth it just to see the differences.
Kim said our daughter's 20, son is 18. Yeah, they were definitely in the Sweet Life and Zach and Cody. Hannah
Sweet Life on Deck. I'm liking the Sweet Life on Deck.
Wizards of Waverly Place.
Sure.
High School Musical. Audie went to the treehouse in November.
Is there ice cream in the treehouse? Why would he be up there?
I don't know.
He might have been promised ice cream when he came.
Somebody told him.
Or he went up with it in his hands.
Yeah.
Looking for a place to sit.
Bed knobs and broomsticks. Good recommendation, Kim.
I haven't seen that in so long.
Good recommendation.
It has been quite a long time since I've seen that.
So what else are you guys doing? You guys watching? You tell us. What are some of the other things you're doing to fill the Disney void? Anybody reading a good book? I've seen people ask that in some of the Disney groups, like books. I've seen multiple people ask about books about Walt specifically. I read the best one. I have the Neil Gabler one, but I've never read it. I did read, I think it's an American original. It's by Bob Thomas, and it's really, really good. Really good book. Somebody also was talking, maybe that was in a private chat, about the Villains book by Serena Valentino.
Yep. Those books are fantastic.
Really good. I've only read
thing. What have you read?
I read the first one, which I think is the fairest of all.
Fairest of all. I read the Beast Gaston. I don't remember the name of it.
The Beast Within.
The Beast Within.
Ooh.
So good. Interesting plot twists and interesting, like the I don't know what the word I'm looking for is. She kind of takes some liberties. Is that probably the appropriate word?
Yeah, it's probably some artistic license.
Yeah.
And gives you a point of view that's not portrayed in the film. With the fairest of all, which is about the evil queen. She kind of tells the story, but tells it from the evil queen's perspective, and you learn some things about the evil queen that you may think maybe she's not as evil as you think, but there's some other stuff going on. So it's definitely interesting.
Right.
I'm gonna say it here in front of an audience just to make sure I get this done. But me and Lisa were talking. I've actually reached out. I've reached out once before to Serena, who's the author of those books. And she lives here in New Orleans now. She lived in California. Now she lives in New Orleans. And me and her were trying to get together to do an interview. And it just we couldn't schedule it correctly. And then, so I reached out again, and we're going to do it. And me and Lisa's going to do it over the phone. So,
yeah, that's going to be a great one.
I would like to get that done over the next few weeks.
Bill, One Little Spark is a great book. Love that.
You got to meet him right before he passed away.
He autographed my copy of One Little Spark at the D23 Expo.
Oh, that's
Um,
fantastic.
And that was like
Yeah.
a couple months. That was like months.
That was the expo. Yeah, that wasn't long before. And I actually had a chance to talk to him for a little bit because there wasn't a long line. Both he and Dave Smith, I met that same D23 expo. I got their books, got them to autograph it, and it was cool for sure.
I think if you looked up Disney nerd in the dictionary, there'd be a picture of Dave Smith, right?
Yeah, yeah. Well, definitely if you look up Disney Archive, there'll be a picture of him because he started the Disney Archive.
He probably knows more about Disney. You know, he just has more knowledge in his head than probably.
So he started that archive in like 1971 or so. And I've heard this story multiple times where he was invited to go into Walt's office and archive it. Remember, Walt passed away in 1966, and this is like 1971. No one had been inside his office. It was exactly how it was when he left it.
Wow.
And the telephone was something that he wanted. And if you remember back then, it was the point in time where you had to lease the telephone that would hang in your house. Go figure that, right? Those were the days when you leased and paid the phone company every month the right to have the telephone.
So basically what you do now with like your cable modem.
Yes.
You pay an equipment fee.
You pay an equipment fee for it. You got it.
By them. Yeah, I got
Yes. And the phone company wanted it back. And Dave's going, you're not getting Walt's phone back. This is Walt's phone. So he hangs up. He tries to figure out what he's going to do. He rips it out of the wall, calls him back and says it's broken. He threw it away. And it's in the archive, Walt's phone. So it's a great story.
That's great.
But could you imagine that, being the gentleman that walks in? You get to go in and index everything and archive everything and put things away, and just amazing. And that started the Disney Archives, which now at the D23 Expo is all about the archives. In fact, Destination D this year is 50 best items in the Disney Archive because it's been 50 years. 1971. There you go. Or 1970.
Terry says she still has to work. Mickey's laundry is never done.
Never done.
This is true.
We love you, Terry, and you're one of our favorite cast members.
That mouse is always making a mess.
Bill, I have to ask because I just signed up for an Audible account. Is One Little Spark, is it narrated by Marty Sklar? I mean, most of them are narrated by the author or by, like, right now I'm listening to Ahsoka, which is the book about Ahsoka Tano, and it's narrated by Ashley Eckstein.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah. Oh, that's fantastic.
Just the Ahsoka parts or the whole book?
The whole book. She reads the whole book.
Nice.
Usually in most of those, which it's cool because not only is she reading it and doing the part, like she's playing the roles, but they do sound effects and stuff too. You can hear certain things, and so you can hear the TIE fighters and stuff, which is cool. It's
I'm listening to Thrawn Alliance, which is the same way. Pretty cool.
I've heard that Thrawn is a great series to get into.
Yes.
So that that actually was my plan to be my next book would be Thrawn.
And that goes right back to Rebels, dude. Right? Thrawn leads into Rebels, and Rebels is with Thrawn. And at the end, you see he and Ezra are taking off into hyperspace, and who knows where those two end up.
I know.
We still don't know.
Think they'll ever revisit that?
It's possible. I mean, come on. At the end of Mandalorian, the guy comes out with the Darksaber.
Yeah. And, you know, all these years later, they came out with the 7th season of Clone Wars. I don't think nobody expected that. So maybe they'll do another episode of.
You never know. They could.
So Thrawn was going to be my next book, but now that I see One Little Spark by Marty Sklar is on there, maybe that would be my next book. So
Heather's got an interesting question there because we saw the social media releases for 4 different acts in Epcot that wrapped up the day before they closed for this extended break, and it doesn't look like they're coming back, and the Japanese drummers are one of those.
Japanese drummers, the British
invasion.
No,
that was the one. That was it. I just did the video. So Sam's Disney Diary, you'll catch the video. British Revolution, British Invasion.
The Beatles one before that.
Sergei back in Italy, the mime,
the juggler mime guy,
and in France, the table guys that stack them up, and you know, so those 4 acts aren't coming back. there's a couple of things that go through my mind initially. One is we keep hearing about Epcot, more Disney, more friendly, more family, right? And I immediately think to the Mariachi Cobra and what they've done with Coco and bringing a Disney character into their act and really rejuvenating their act, right? How could you bring Mulan into the drums? How could you bring a princess into the waiters over there? How can you bring... I really think these acts weren't going to go past October when they have their annual, refresh of talent, October 1st. So they just got in front of it. I really think coming out of the other end, we're going to see performances in those countries that reflect the characters that are from those countries. That's my opinion, but doesn't it make sense?
I was going to give you a little bit of a hard time because Mulan is Chinese.
I'm sorry. So what do we do there? We get all right. So let's go to China, but the acrobats are still there.
Ponyo?
You're right. Talk about France instead. All right, or in Italy.
Oh, we get Beauty and the Beast.
Could you do something with them that's not? I guess that's my point, right? You look at Mariachi Cobra and Coco is awesome.
They want to tie the Disney intellectual property to the resort. I think that's cool, but I also understand and like the idea of the original idea of Epcot that they weren't going to do that. It was
25 years the drummers were there.
Yeah.
25 years those guys are banging the drums, and the British
tired. They're going home.
Yeah.
Same drummers.
They weren't the same. Neither is the Mariachi Cobra or the Voices of Liberty, right? Those aren't the same. It's the same act.
Same 4 drummers that's been there for 25 years. If it was, they're looking good. They're looking good. Right?
I get it. They were all trained by the same person.
It's crazy.
So I did some homework, and Sam's Disney Diary over on YouTube. You're going to see a video of the drummers and a video of British Revolution.
Why don't we take a look at them?
I don't know if they're live yet.
Yeah,
they're up there. I just don't know if I posted them because the last one I posted was the 20 things to do at the 2020 Flower and Garden Festival.
Oh, yep.
Is there things to do?
I had to stretch it a little bit.
Okay.
I had to. Well, but wait.
He took a little artistic license.
Well, I did the same that Disney did. So here, I'm going to see. I don't know if you guys...
Skyliner one of them?
No, the Skyliner's not one of them, but this is Disney's Times Guide from there. And these are the things to do at the Flower and Garden Festival. And look, this is the Epcot experience. This is fireworks. This is Finding Nemo, for crying out loud, is one of them. The 3 movies are one of them. So they took some artistic licenses. So
they're just trying to get you up into the construction zone.
So the video still is show up through International Gateway, and there's some awesome things to do, and there's some great things in the food booths, some wonderful items.
There's a little bit delay, but I got to throw Maria's comment up there. She said the drummers must be tired.
They had 25 years.
25 years of doing that every day.
They're absolutely white.
Years.
Now, I will say, so I was there, right? And I looked, and looking back is easy. In retrospect, I don't think you guys are going to be able to see that. But that's the schedule for the drummers and the schedule for the other acts. The drummers were only there 3 days.
All right, put that back up. Put that back. I'll put you in.
I'll see if it records it. But if you look at the United Kingdom, those guys were only there Friday and Saturday. British Revolution.
Huh.
And Sergey was only there a couple of days. I mean, these guys used to be there 5 days a week, right? Look, Sergey right here is only there Wednesday and Thursday.
Well, one of the things, and when I saw this news breaking and I shared it on the Disney Nerds podcast.
That's when I first saw it, by the way, Jimmy.
I saw the British Revolution first. And I was thinking, this makes sense because they're about to redo that pavilion. We're about to get Cherry Tree Lane.
Exactly.
That's going to be changing. But then I'm like, well, now they've gotten rid of the drummers and Sergey and the acrobats in France. I'm like, they're sending all the foreigners home.
But the Chinese acrobats are still there. I don't know. I don't know.
Maybe they're. I don't know.
I don't know either. I think they're still there. Hold on. Let me look at my Times Guide here. I'm glad I have it. China, the Jeweled Dragon acrobats are indeed there. When were they there?
Yes, the flowers will definitely be alive when you go back.
I'm sure they're watering those.
Just because we're not there, our trusty cast members are still going to work every day doing and there's certain people that are not. I'm sure there's some that are going to have time off, but the people that work in horticulture and stuff like that.
Somebody's feeding the animals in Animal Kingdom, right?
Right. And our friend Terry, who's a cast member there, she's working because, Disney's still
because Mickey's still dirty in his clothes, for crying out loud. Come on.
That's how that works. I think that there are a few departments that are still going to be reporting to work on a regular basis. Sadly, just not construction. And I really wish that were different.
So the construction workers are not working at all?
No.
Nope.
No. Groups of 20 or more is what they had said, and the construction constitutes a group of 20 or more.
I wonder if the people keep painting the castle. Because that's probably not 20 or more, right? There's probably a group of like 5 guys and they're not even together. They're like separated. So I wonder if they're still painting on the castle, which I'm very excited about, by the way. I've heard some people complain about it.
No.
I'm good with it. No, Lisa and I talked about it on a live show. I showed a picture of the castle cake.
Yeah,
for 25.
That was terrible.
That was terrible.
Terrible. Terrible.
Here's some quick footage of a drone over top of Hollywood Studios today. I'll hit play on that. But there's just nothing going on in there. So that was Studios. There's Toy Story Land with nobody anywhere. Just crazy to see those images coming from there. It really is.
Where did you pull this from?
This is YouTube. I just did a search for empty theme parks.
Yeah,
and this is from today.
AccuWeather did a flyover of Magic Kingdom, and it was.
I mean, there's Galaxy's Edge. Studios right there. Mickey Minnie's Runaway Railroad.
That was the last time I was in a park, was right there. Waiting in line.
So let me ask you this, Sam, because you probably know. This is possible because...
Look at that parking lot. I'm sorry.
This is possible that this drone footage is possible because of the way Disney had to change stuff to allow for their own personal drones, right?
I'm not 100% sure, but when I see this, it's over the park in a couple of cases. And
at one point in time, that was a no-fly zone, but now
absolutely.
I think you even from time to time can see helicopters fly over. So I don't think it's a no-fly zone anymore, and I think that has something to do with the permit
drones.
Stuff because Disney wanted to fly their own drones, so you can't stop other people from flying drones if you want to do your own.
Right. Animal Kingdom.
Wow.
Entrance to the park. So here we'll see. I think it should be next. So this video also includes. Look at that tree right there. There's Blizzard Beach. Nice.
Wow. You know what? It makes me want a drone.
Sure. There's that's Epcot. So that's International Gateway.
Right.
Hey, Sandra, how you doing?
There's all your flowers. There's seeing there. Oh, actually, I'm pausing. Oh, go back. I wanted to pause right there because I want to see over that construction wall. You know what I'm thinking? What's going on back there? There's Guardians of the Galaxy right there. Gotta like that.
Go away, green.
Go away, green.
Go away, green.
Go away. That's Disney Springs.
In Hollywood.
Disney Springs right there. Yeah, Planet Hollywood. Just nothing going on down there either. There, I'll stop there because this video goes over to that other park that I don't know anything about.
We don't talk about it.
But it was just as empty, by the way.
Interesting. Good stuff. I see you got your Boathouse cup.
I do have my Boathouse cup. This is the best. And I made you guys get one of these, right? This is the to-go cup from the Boathouse.
Yeah. I have one somewhere.
Yeah. So if you have an adult beverage and you're looking to leave the Boathouse, you ask for a to-go cup and they give you one of these. It's wonderful.
I took my mother there last Wednesday. She loved it.
Did you get the
Boathouse is great.
Did you get the sliders?
No, I never.
I've never had the sliders.
I got the fish nuggets off the appetizer menu. My mother got the lobster bisque. Like the best that she's ever had.
Panda, when Panda was on, we were talking about the restaurants in Disney Springs. He recommended the sliders because it's like $14 for the sliders.
Very inexpensive.
And it's like filet.
Yeah, okay.
So he's like, and his point was you could go to like Deluxe Burger and get like a counter service burger, basically, which is probably better than most counter service burgers at Disney. But by the time you're done, you're probably still going to be close to $14. Or you can go to the Boathouse and get the sliders for $14.
I like it.
Jody says Sam and little
Jody, what's up?
Heather says Boathouse.
She's coming to Disney World with us soon.
Nice.
In June?
I don't know. At some point, we're gonna make that happen.
My mother and I just went and just on a whim went and walked up to the bar. We were the only two there.
At the Boathouse?
Yep.
Inside, outside. I like both
Inside.
bars, by the way. The outside bar's not bad.
We were inside. I didn't want to make her walk down the plank there. So.
Yeah. Okay.
Walk the plank, Christine.
I think it's cool to watch the boats, the Ampa cars come in.
Well, as we watched 2 go out and 2 come in, and she was very fascinated by that process.
It is.
What is that small blue thing out on the water? I said, "Oh,
That's a car.
Come with me. I'll show you what it is."
That's a car, Mom. What?
Mary said she's
that thing up. My mother's like, "It smells like 1950."
Yeah, look at the cars.
Mary said she's had the sliders at the Boathouse before, and Ben Barker says he's had the fish tacos at the Boathouse. He was just there he was there the week of Mardi Gras, and he said they were off the chain.
So, Mary, are the sliders good? As good as Jimmy says? That's the real
Not as Jimmy says, as Panda says.
Pandas. Okay, I'm sorry. I've not had them because I go into the Boathouse and the last thing I'm getting is a steak, to be honest. If I'm getting a steak, I'll go up to another place there.
I think he was talking about the value of it.
And I get it. I completely get it.
It was more of the value proposition that before you go over to like Deluxe Burger or Planet Hollywood, you can go to the Boathouse and get those for $14, which was a great value.
Sure.
Yep.
It wasn't a conversation about the best thing on the menu necessarily, because I'm sure there's some great seafood. But for me, we went and had drinks there. Look, it'd be tough for me to go to the Boathouse and order food. I live in New Orleans.
I understand.
Yeah, so it's not. I can get really, really good seafood for not much money here.
I get it. Or you go and catch it. I've seen you do that.
I have done that too.
I've seen it.
Kim said truffle fries.
Oh,
Those are Kim and Michelle
as well.
Kim and Michelle had the truffle fry. We just went there for drinks, and we went and sit out on the deck outside, which was interesting because we were talking about this on the show with Lisa and Panda. I didn't know, like, the outside bar I think is anchored, but that decking around it where there's tables outside, it's not. It's not. Yeah, a floating. So you're out.
A boat dock. It's a boat dock.
Yeah, and it was windy out when we were there, and you could feel it. So we went there for drinks, and they got to order a truffle fries just as a snack. But it was cool because you could feel it kind of moving.
Yeah, I love just looking at those boats right there at the boat dock. There's so many out there, and they're cool. It's a museum, right? If you read it's a good food, good drinks, and boat something or other museum or.
Yeah, and there's good information about those. Those boats are beautiful.
Yeah.
Beautiful. What do you think the rent is there?
For any of them, I can't imagine, dude.
What do you think? What do you think the Boathouse pays Disney in rent for that?
I couldn't even imagine.
It's got to be retarded, right?
Yeah, I would think absolutely.
Yeah.
And I'm sure there's some decade-long commitment that they're tied into, right?
Sure, because you don't want people just bouncing.
Yeah.
You don't want to change it over because that's not a good look. We also talked about when we were at Springs. We talked about paddlefish.
Yeah,
and I was telling Panda that you were impressed with paddlefish.
I was impressed with paddlefish. Clearly, it should be called the Boathouse, not the Boathouse. But the name was taken, so they needed something else. It's definitely better than it was previously. What was it before? Was the Boathouse? It was Fulton's Crab House. Yeah, it was good.
I've only been there once, and when I went there, it was the Empress Lily.
You were there for character breakfast, right?
1986.
You went to see Mickey. That might have been the only character breakfast when you did that.
It was. When you went there, when you were doing a character breakfast, that's where you went. That was the character breakfast.
That's exactly right. That predates Chef Mickey, for crying out loud, over at the Contemporary.
Wow.
Yeah.
Panda did not realize that was not a boat.
It sure looks like one, but there's a lot of things at Disney that look like things that they aren't.
It's an actual structure.
It's
There's
a building. Yeah.
structure that goes all the way down into the water underneath. It sits on there. It sits. It's a building that's just the top of it looks like a boat.
And it does. Yeah.
I am old, Kim.
Did you tell them too that that's really not Pandora over there in Animal Kingdom? Just wondering.
Look, I don't want to kill.
Oh.
Tim, I don't want to kill all the magic. Ben asks, "What is the bar restaurant that looks like a planetarium above it?" That is
Planet Hollywood.
Planet Hollywood Observatory, since they made it that way, and I like it. I know it still gets a bad rap, but I like it.
You can ask Lisa. I've been a fan. I've had really, really good burgers there.
Yep.
Caitlin had the LA lasagna, which is big filled tubes that are deep fried, and lasagna, and it was really, every time I've been there, it's been very, very good.
Guy Fieri has done it well. I love the SMC. Give me some super melty cheese. That's the way to go on the burger, man.
Donkey sauce
and SMC.
Yep. I got the American style Kobe beef burger there.
Now you're talking, man.
And it was a good burger.
Yeah, now you're talking.
Yep. Kim said never a complaint. If you're gonna get an appetizer, you get the high roller.
Oh, the Ferris wheel, right? Yeah.
It's like a sampler, but it comes out on a Ferris wheel. It's cool. Everybody, it's cool. Presentation, it's the sizzle. You can buy a steak at the grocery store for $12. You go to a restaurant, it's $50. Why? Because of the sizzle. Presentation.
Yeah, the sizzle.
Yes, I've heard bad things about Planet Hollywood before the refurbishment.
It was a chain before that, man. It was like a Hard Rock Cafe, but Hard Rocks have gotten better too. But it was a burger, but it was a chain burger, and you were going in there to look at the stuff, and it was just. Let's put it this way: when you stayed at a Disney Springs hotel, there were coupons for Planet Hollywood before the refurb to buy a burger and get one free. That right there should tell you they're trying to get people into that place, right?
Yeah. Yep. That's so true. All right. Well,
so where are you going right now? I'm going back to Resistance, I think.
Well, before we cut out, we're gonna do a virtual ride through.
Oh, nice. What are we riding, dude?
I think we decided on. Ed sent this link, and I'll share the link when we're done. It was basically a bunch of attractions that you could do virtual ride throughs on YouTube, but it's all compiled in one link. And one of them was, we've been talking about Panda. One of them ended up being one of his videos. So it's Nemo, The Seas with Nemo and Friends.
Mm-hmm.
So since he's a friend of the show, I figured we'd do his. So we're gonna do a virtual ride through of Nemo, The Seas with Nemo and Friends. And maybe next week we'll do something else. I like these ride throughs, so especially while there's no Disney, world.
Yeah, ride throughs are cool.
We can do this virtual ride through. So if you're here, please hang out with us. Give us some comments while we're in there. Let's talk about it while we're riding it. We'll get this started. Let's see.
The Deluge. Do you remember that from The Seas? Not The Seas with Nemo, but The Living Seas. The Deluge.
I don't know if I remember.
The pre-show area where that was cool. Where the video was all around you. It was like a 380, but it was only the top half before you got into the hydrolators.
I do remember the hydrolators, and I have pictures, and I remember the suit, the underwater.
The guy. Yep.
Arms in it, and it had the little clamps, and they had a panel in front of you. You had to turn certain things and move certain levers and stuff like that. I do remember that as a kid. All right. Yeah. There's never a line, especially when it's virtual.
I like that idea. Cool.
All right. So here we go. Let me just go flip over, get it started.
Mine?
Mine. It's like me and Sam fighting over a beer at the Rose and Crown. Mine?
We'll take 2.
Yes, just give us 2.
Who got arm working for this run? That's the big question.
I am not going to lose you again. Do you hear me? Nemo, where are you, son? Nemo.
My question for the direction is: second or big?
Let's go explore the big world.
Baby, can't explore without Nemo.
I'm sure we'll see him any minute now.
Nemo!
Oh,
Hi, I'm Dory.
I am looking for my son.
Oh, I can help. Oh,
It's Nemo.
where?
I don't know. That's why we're trying to find.
I do.
Oh, Nemo, where are you, Nemo?
Who's Nemo?
He's my son. You know that.
I do.
We went on a huge adventure together when we don't remember it all. Nemo, where are you, Nemo?
Who's Nemo?
He's my son. Stop playing games.
Games. I love games. Ooh, how bouncy that looks like
Oh, jellyfish.
right. Ow. Dory.
Jellyfish. Jellyfish. Stop playing games.
Games. I love games.
Stop fooling around. I wonder if clownfish Nemo, why didn't you throw boy from little bites? Oh, what I'd give from little bites. Little clownfish, where are you? Nemo, why didn't you throw boy from little bites? Oh, what I'd give from little bites. Check out the Bitty Marlin! Woohoo!
Nemo, give me some fish.
Okay, little dudes, get ready to rock! Bitty Marlin! Woohoo! Okay, little dudes, get ready to rock!
All the friends. I wanna go to and all of them are out there for me. That's what I've never seen before. The big blue world. With all our friends. It's a journey that never ends. Did you know yesterday you did ask to
Find a happy place. Find a happy place. I think that's what we're all trying to do right now, and that helped, Jimmy.
Right.
Thank you.
What came first, the chicken or the egg?
Find a happy place. Find a happy place. Find a happy place.
Everybody posted it here. What came first, the chicken or the egg? In the big blue world. That song wasn't in the movie, but
That's
it was
right.
it's in the musical over at Animal Kingdom.
It
Was
is.
it in this attraction first or in
Hmm.
the musical first?
I believe this attraction opened before the musical. It was close.
I'm going the other way. I'm going to say the musical happened before this attraction.
Do you have it in front of you, Lisa?
I don't. It was
You
a
can't-
serious question.
Kim said Small World came first.
Did Small World came first?
Yeah.
Shoot.
Small World predates all of it.
Forget it. Forget it. I'm done.
Finding Nemo the musical. Finding Nemo the musical opened in 2007.
All right. The Seas with Nemo opened January 24th, 2007.
Ooh. Let me search again. So maybe
I believe the Seas with Nemo opened first, but not by much.
January 24th, 2007.
They both opened the same day.
Same day.
They both
So
opened the same
they
day.
took the music when they wrote the music. They wrote it for probably both.
Yeah, I'm sure it was written and then just used in both.
I agree.
That's
Heather.
that's a fantastic question, though, Lisa. Because I was thinking that when I was listening to it, that there's no music in Nemo.
Nope.
If you watch Finding the Nemo the musical, it makes you feel like there is, though. You feel like these songs are kind of familiar, and that they God, how much better would Finding Nemo be if it had the music from the musical?
Right?
It'd be a better movie.
Heather just said, yes, it should be in the movie. I agree, it should be in the movie.
Yeah, it would be a better movie with the music from the musical if it was in the movie.
And clearly, it should have been in Finding Dory. What are they thinking?
The chicken had the egg the same day. Yeah.
The chicken and the egg were the same day. That's exactly what happened. It was a good question, though.
That was a good question. So they opened the same day and
same day, January 27th of 2007.
Two different parks.
Very interesting.
Which one gets refurbished first? Can I ask that? Purely speculation, but with everything happening at Epcot,
I say the Seas with Nemo gets refurbished, but only because it's still based on the old movie. Maybe
the original.
Theme it to Finding Dory.
We have heard rumors that there could potentially be the theming of that in Finding Dory. It was the aquarium that they visited,
right?
With the rescue stuff inside. That it could potentially become that. But we'll do rumors another show.
All right. Yeah. So one other thing to throw at you guys. We talked a lot about Disney Plus and using that as a tool to get over the Disney void. I know Sam mentioned the Imagineering story. I will tell you another one. A Day in Disney.
Yeah, that's
A Day in Disney shorts. One of them is a girl who plays Dory.
Oh, at Walt Disney World.
The musical.
Yeah.
And it is fantastic to hear her story and her going to Disney as a child with her mother who had cancer. And it's like I cried. I sobbed. It was fantastic. It was such a beautiful story. Her story and what she gets to do now as a living. Well, not right now, but during this time.
That's cool.
It's amazing. So A Day in Disney, the shorts. There's a whole like episode that's long, but then there's like little shorts that even dig into other people, and it just tells you about what they do with the Disney company. One of them's Bob Iger, which it's pretty cool.
Yeah.
People think some of these CEOs are soulless, but you can hear the passion he has for.
And I think it's awesome that he decided to step down to focus on that creativity. That's good for him, man.
Amazing. Yep. All right, guys. Thank you so much for joining. For myself,
thanks, Jimmy,
and Lisa Quaharini.
So long, everybody.
Congaloosh. Lisa, you're still live. Where the heck?
No music, too.
It's still live.
Wait, there was music. Go do that again.
On the sea, somewhere. Wait, who needs Disney when I can take the money?
Oh no! Look out! Look out!
You go, girl. No, you go.
Disney, everybody.
You go.
I'm here. Are we gonna shut this off or what?
Can we go sailing takes me away?